Friends, Namaskar. This is my first video from Solan. We have relocated here temporarily, and amongst this beautiful surroundings, I felt we can continue our discussions on Bhagwad Geeta. This time, I have tried to give some similarities between various incidents that we all recall in cricketing annals, which are historical, and we will relate 10 most famous incidents of cricket and relate how the learnings from these matches can be, attributed to Gita. Cricket, as we all know, is the one religion in India which no one will dispute. And my attempt is that from the interest of cricket, you will have, some interest in the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, and will try to, do this journey of finding Krishna within yourself on your own. So let me start. So we will start with various matches which will, give you a memory of previous greatness in cricket by various, stalwarts and heroes that we have, and from there, by their actions, what is the learning of Gita that we can imbibe. The first match which I want to relate is the India Australia Eden Gardens test in 2001, which is, we call it the follow on miracle. The Australia, which was a very favorites to win and a very strong side, enforced the follow on after a huge first innings lead. Lakshman on 281 and Dravid on 180 produced a historic partnership. Can you just imagine? Australia was 445 in the first innings, and India was bowled out for 171, forced to then follow on. During the follow on, some magic happened between Dravid and Lakshman, and they scored immensely well. And uh, India was 657 for 7 declared. In the second innings, Australia was bowled out for 212, and India won this match by 171 runs. And it is no doubt one of the greatest comebacks in cricket history. And we all, are in awe of the great innings played by Lakshman 281 and Dravid 180. Truly, truly remarkable. The learning from this episode is that when life pushes you down, every one of us has rise from within. The comebacks are created not by circumstances but by inner resolve. This learning is very well, from the Gita in chapter 6, verse 5. Udared Atmanatman, lift yourself by yourself. So the Gita teaches us that the mind and intellect, when aligned, can reverse any destiny, just like our heroes Lakshman and Dravid did. So I just want you to recall this memories that we have of this great victory that we all achieved in this historic match. Let's go to the second. It was difficult for me to prioritize which one is number one, which was number two. But number two will be India versus West Indies World Cup 1983, because it is not so far off in our recall. And this is the underdog triumphing. India faced the mighty West Indies. We all remember they were two-time champions, and India scored only 183 runs, but they could bowl out the mighty West Indians in 140 runs only, and they won by 43 runs. The outcome was India won the World Cup. The world was shocked. The learning from Kapil Dev's team, our salute to Kapil Dev always, is that faith is a force multiplier. The way Kapil Dev handled his team Mohinder Ramanath, and Roger Binney and others, is a multiplier effect which has resulted in the team performing the way it did. So each one in the team believed in their dharma, and collectively they ensured that the giants fall. So the West Indies were defeated. This historic win has some resonance with the Gita. So Shraddhadev Labate Jnanam, the faithful gain strength. It is in chapter 4, verse number 39. So Kapil Dev's catch of Viv Richards was the moment faith turned into destiny. And these are the small moments in history which, when our efforts are properly aligned, then God gives us the opportunity to achieve what we all are aspiring for. So I hope we all recall these great moments. Number three, I would still want to rate India versus Sri Lanka, the World Cup final 2011, in which Dhoni's calm leadership shown, right through the match, the tournament, as well as in the later periods. So Dhoni promoted himself up the order in a high pressure chase. So India needed 275 to win, and the great Dhoni scored 91 from 79 balls. And the most memorable, memory that we have a recall is the that Dhoni finishes the match with a six, resulting in India lifting the World Cup. What a great memory it was. So the learning that we have is the leadership isn't stepping forward when the moments demands. The calmness is the highest form of strength. Uh, Dhoni, we all know, is Captain Cool, and he has, given the message of Gita, Samatmam Yoga Uchyate. Equanimity is yoga. Yoga is connect, and chapter 2, verse 48 gives details of this. So Dhoni's serenity under pressure is pure Gita. In life too, we will face with various ups and downs. Life is never going to be one single happy journey, and during these times we have to face the dualities of life with equanimity, with equipoise, and that is what this match has shown through Dhoni, the running to us, and it is very, very dear to us, these memories. Fourth match, again, the great Dhoni is there. India versus Pakistan T20 World Cup final 2007. We all were so surprised when we were watching it live that how Captain Cool Dhoni has trusted Joginder Sharma by giving him the final over to bowl, although he is not such an experienced bowler. 6 runs were just needed in 4 balls in the last over, and Joginder takes the final Pakistani wicket. India finally win by 5 runs with 3 balls to spare. What a match it was! We all remember the outcome. India won the inaugural T20 World Cup, defending only 157 runs. The learning, of course, is trust the process. Conviction creates courage. So Dhoni, in his calm demeanor and having faith in his team, has shown us the learnings of Gita, Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. Excellence in action is yoga, which is again chapter 2, verse 50. So Dhoni's decision was pure intuitive wisdom, and hats off to him. So this is my fourth. The fifth, of course, how can we forget Sachin Tendulkar? So Sachin Tendulkar's Desert Storm in Sharjah '98, which is the tapasya of a titan. So Sachin back-to-back innings against Australia was everyone described it as a sandstorm. Back to back, he did 143 runs and 134 in successive matches. Outcome was India reached the final and won the tournament. The learning, of course, was tapasya, which is discipline, creates divine power. Greatness is not an accident, it is by practice, and we have learned in the way Sachin handled his own life, right from his younger ages to his practice sessions to his, the way he handles the environment, his family, his relationships. Is it is something which is one word which can describe it as discipline. And this is also resonated in the Gita as tapa swadhyaya. Discipline and self-study is the purifier, which is there in chapter 17, verse 14. So Sachin's innings were the eruption of years of tapasya. So this is again a memory which we all dearly have. Then, of course, Ben Stokes at Headley Test 2019. Very few people uh, would have seen that match live. But yes, Ben Stokes was really outstanding in the heroics he showed in his match. Australia was 179 and 246, and England were just 67 in the first innings, needing 359 to win. Can you imagine 359 to win, and all the possibilities of Australia was very evident. But Stokes scored 135 to pull off impossible chase. England won by 1 wicket, the famous victory. The learning here was a resolute mind becomes unstoppable. Focus turns the impossible into the inevitable. So when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. We all know of that. But when the time comes, we all uh, tend to panic and tend to our mind, intellect. We all get bewildered. So the Gita also resonates this feeling in chapter 2, verse 41. Vyavasatmika buddhi, resolute mind is one pointed. Stokes embodied the Gita's teaching on unwavering determination. So this, of course, is one learning that we get, that we need to be sthit pragya is the word Gita use. A steady mindedness is needed. Steady steadfastness is needed. Number seven, again a historic match. Again, we will not be able to recall it. Many people seeing this might not even be born. But West Indies versus Australia in Brisbane, 1960. This is in history the first tied Test match. The first tied, West Indies scored 453 and 284, and Australia did 505 and 232. The match was tied. So there was no winner, but cricket obviously won. So the learning here is sometimes the purity of the battle is greater than the result. This is a very important lesson. If everyone is putting their best effort, is following the dharma, so the battle itself becomes a part of the dharma, and dharma lies in playing, not just in winning. So winning and losing is all the result. It is the means that are more important. The result, we all know is not in our hands. So this aligns very much with Gita chapter 3 verse 35. Swadharme nidhanam sriya. Better to die in your own dharma. So a match played in the spirit of dharma. Here, everyone was just concentrating on their own dharmas. They were not trying to, take shortcuts or do something which is unsportsmanlike. They were behaving as true sportsmen, and in the end, it was the cricket who emerged victorious. What a great lesson! 2019 England New Zealand, the World Cup final. This was a rule which I doubt very few people knew. I will be asking my friends who are cricket enthusiasts whether they knew this or not. So the tie in the match happened, and then in the super over also the tie happened, and England won on a boundary count. So New Zealand played flawlessly but lost due to a rule few people knew about. So you can control your effort. The learning is not the result. So the result is something which it is in God's hand. It is a destiny, which is our prarabdh over so many the karmic cycles that we have. So these two factors will write the final line of the result, and this is the most important, if I can say, the alignment with Gita, which is verse 47 of chapter 2, which is most famous, karmanye vadikaraste. So you have control only your action, never over its results. So New Zealand embodied detached excellence. They were giving the best performance because they were just concentrating on their effort and leaving the rest, the result part of it, to whatever will happen. They will be able to accept it with most faith and humility. So what a great learning to have. Number 9, Australia South Africa World Cup semi-final, run out confusion. This was again a dramatic match. It was a tie at 213, and there were two balls to spare, and South Africa could have easily done one run at least to go for the finals, because it was a semi-final being played. And with two balls to spare, there was a mindless, unfortunate run-out mix-up, resulting in South Africa being eliminated and Australia emerging as the winners. So one moment of confusion of South Africa caused them the World Cup final. In crisis, clarity is everything. Delusion destroys discrimination. So we have to be very, very calm during a crisis. And if our mind gets bewildered, if we are getting confused, we will end up doing something out of, a mindless, unreasonable, burst of enthusiasm, which will not be favorable to us. The Gita alignment also is Moh Smriti Vibhrama. So delusion leads to loss of memory and judgment. Chapter 2, 63 verse warns that if we are getting too emotional, it will overwhelm the actions that we have and will lead to our collapse. So this brings us to the last match that I wanted to share. So England versus Australia at Baxton 2005, the two-run thriller. Again, one of the closest tests ever, which England just won by 2 runs. Uh, England first inning 407 all out. Australia replied 308 all out. England and second innings were 182 all out, and Australia just needed to score 2 runs more to have victory, but they fell short and they were all out in 279. So this was one of the closest test matches ever played, and England just won by 2 runs. A match defined by courage and not comfort. So do not flee from the battlefield. So here we must, congratulate the way Australia was there in the battlefield, and they showed courage in chaos, and it was a legendary fight that they could, you know, try to win. But England were also equally, if not slightly more uh, courageous, and they could just surpass them by just 2 runs. So Yuddhe na kape apalyam. So do not run from battle. Both the teams did not run from the battle. They fought like gladiators. So chapter 16, verse 1. So Gita celebrates the warriors who stood firm. So this is the 10, matches which I hope you will have a recall, and there are learnings from Gita which are there, which we have just covered. This is just a summary of that. My purpose in giving you this was that somehow my attempt has been to trigger the interest of Gita in our everyday lives. And as all of you are so much interested in cricket, and any mention of cricket, with IPL is going on these days, and we are every day watching the IPL, heroics. So my purpose was that through cricket, if you can somehow get interest in trying to find out that there is so much of learnings available in Gita, and whether we all, by learning from each other, can do a journey of self-realization, and there is divineness in all of us, and our search of finding our true divine person is something that we all are here in this world for, and this is what that makes life purposeful and meaningful. Thank you so much. God bless.